What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Masex. Hey man, it's been a while. It has been a while. It's been a little while. I ain't even gonna look at the date. I have the date in my mind, but let's get to business. So clearly, it's been a little while since my positional rankings. We're gonna actually start with the QBs today. So a lot's changed since early December when I made the original top 5 for the 23 class. We've had bowl games, senior bowls, NFL Combine, Pro Days, and at the time of this recording, we're actually 11, 12, 13 days out from the NFL Draft. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to rank the QBs, and actually we're going to do that with all the positions, offense and defense. The next couple weeks, man, we're going to be going through it together. I'm going to try to get all of them published before the NFL Draft. In addition to all things football, I'm going to be back on the Grizzly, back on the grind. So with that said, help me out. Help me get back in the algorithm. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this video, man. Help your boy out. We gonna be growing. We still on that pursuit to 1K, man. We still on that pursuit, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But hey, I rambled enough. I said what I had to say. With these QB rankings, let's get to it. Coming at number 5, my number 5th QB in the 2023 class is none other than Hendon Hooker, QB out of Tennessee. 6'3", 217, led college football in yards per attempt. I mean, he's got the live arm. He's a dual threat coming back from injury, he will be. That really hasn't wavered his draft stock. I've even heard some rumors about him being the 3rd drafted QB in this year's draft. So I don't know how true that is. You know, this is the time where people love to make their hot takes, but he's really accurate. He's always looked to drive the ball down the field. Huge hands. NFL offenses love that. But I will say that with the injury combined with his age, I mean, 25 years old, that's a really old rookie. He's 25 and just finishing college football for a reason. So I have him at number 5 just because I'm not really sure his ceiling. Ultimately, but I mean, he has the touch, he has the talent, but I just don't really know how well he'll be. But draft capital is everything, so if he can get some draft capital and get some opportunities, recover and continue to rehab his injuries and whatnot, he has what it takes to be a legitimate starter in this league. All right, and at number 4 we have Will Levis. Will Levis out of Kentucky. You guys know who he is. Probably the most polarizing player, but definitely the most polarizing QB. Either you love him or hate him. I think that the Twitter community, the social media community aren't as high on him compared to the NFL personnel. Even Mel Kiper actually has him as his number 1 QB, or at least at a certain point this offseason has had him ranked as his number 1 QB. He has what you want. He's got size. He's 6'4", 230. For example, Mel Kiper always apologizes for Will Levis and that supporting cast in the SEC with Kentucky. But if you look at the film, I mean, there's a lot to chip away at. Panics a lot under pressure. I saw a lot of that. But I mean, he's got the talent. He can make every throw. And in the NFL, the successful quarterbacks can make every throw. Hashtag to hashtag, middle of the field, short, intermediate, deep ball. He has what you want to see in a quarterback. But he's my number 4 ranked quarterback. Also factor in his age. He's been in college as well since 2018, 2019. Not as old as Hendon Hooker, but he's definitely on the older end. Not as a big deal for quarterbacks, but it is something that I keep in mind when I'm evaluating QBs. Number 3. So I did not have this QB in my last rankings a few months back, and he's definitely skyrocketed up my rankings. And then, of course, he skyrocketed up everybody's rankings, had one of the best combines, I think, ever for a quarterback. That's none other than Anthony Richardson, listed 6'4", 244 pounds. I think throughout his junior year, he was listed at 6'4", like 225, 228. So comes in almost 20 pounds bigger than what he was listed at. Still was able to run a 4.4. Not going to say probably. He has the highest ceiling in this entire class. Probably the most athletic, size-adjusted athletic quarterback we've ever seen. He also, like Will Levis, has maybe the strongest arm in the class. His good throws are great throws. Like when you watch film on him, some of those throws is like, man, this dude has it. But then you watch the rest of the game and then you may start second guessing yourself. Of the 5 in this rankings, he is the most inaccurate. Didn't throw 60% in college, which isn't a very good sign for accuracy. But I mean, his mechanics are not that bad. He's just got to tool it in and make better decisions when he's reading the defense, processing the defense, plays a lot into it. But man, if he gets with the right quarterback coach, the right offensive coordinator that believes in him and doesn't rush him out on the field, I mean, we may be looking at a Cam Newton. Who knows? Number 2. So I went back and forth. Compared to a few months ago, I was pretty locked in on who my 1 and who my 2 was. At number 2, I have CJ Stroud. I wanted to put him number 1, even though I'm an IU guy. Ohio State's like my favorite team that actually wins. So I've watched pretty much every game that CJ Stroud has played live, in addition to just being able to slow it down and watch his film and also highlights. But he's 6'3", listed 214 pounds. He's got traditional size, definitely a little bit slimmer than I thought. I didn't expect him to actually be sub 220. But he's a confident thrower. I mean, when he throws, the mechanics, his posture, his tone, he just looks like, yeah, I can throw the football. Let me show you. Like, you're oohing and ahhing, but this is what I do. Like, that's just the persona that he gives off. He shut up a lot of the Twitter naysayers with that Georgia game, because that's the closest thing you're going to find to an NFL defense is Georgia football. And he balled out. And yeah, he's had combine actually. He has an arm too. Like, he was going toe for toe with Anthony Richardson. And I'm like, man, that ball is ripping off of his hands as well. So I can't wait to see where he's drafted. I'd love for him to fall to number 4 and go to my Colts. But hey, that may be wishful thinking because he's probably a top 2 pick. All right, number 1. I'm pretty sure you guys know if CJ Stroud is number 2 for me, then my number 1 QB has to be Bryce Young. Bryce Young out of Bama, 5'10", which you guys have seen in my past videos, or if you haven't seen in my past videos, I've always questioned, just like a lot of people, it's not new that I did it, but I've always questioned his height, and I also questioned his weight. Now, he did what he needed to do over the course of a few months to get his weight above 200 pounds, because we all know his playing weight is not 204 pounds. But hey, do what you gotta do, shut the naysayers up. But let's be real, that Heisman commercial with him standing next to Kyler Murray, who's also 5'9", 5'10", Kyler Murray looks like he's at least about 15 pounds bigger and thicker than Bryce Young. But that's neither here nor there. Bryce Young, 2021 Heisman Trophy winner, one of the highest football IQs in the entire class. He's a leader. He's poised. Bama doesn't lose very much, but regardless of what the score is, you honestly wouldn't know if he's in a tight game or if they're playing Mercer and they're up by 58 points. He just has that stoic face that his team is never going to get too high or too low depending on what's going on in the game. Like, I think that's a really great and underrated characteristic of a quarterback, a franchise leader, and that's what he is. Doesn't have the biggest arm in the class, but he throws with good velocity as well, has enough arm strength. He can push the deep ball as well, has the mobility to get out of the pocket, just makes those game breaker like plays. Like if it's 3rd and 8, they're on the road, the crowd is loud, he just finds a way to escape. He's just that type of player that just, you always hold your breath because you think something's getting ready to happen for the defense, but he just finds that way to make a play. So Bryce Young is definitely going to be really good in my estimation. He's the #1 QB in this class. All right, and there you have it. These are my top 5 updated, you can call it 2.0 QB rankings for 2023's draft class. These quarterbacks, honestly, the volatility, you're not really going to find too much differences between late season and right before the draft. There's going to be maybe a little bit, but it's not as volatile as other positions. So with that being said, I got more for y'all in the bank. We're going to do other positions as well. I like sticking to the top 5 because, hey, at the end of the day, we want to just see the guys that are most likely going to make an impact or have a better probability to have chances to make that impact. So I like to just keep it at 5. With all that being said, just another reminder, thank you guys if you made it this far. There's more to come. The fall off is over. I'm back and I'm hungry more than ever. So I appreciate you guys supporting me in advance. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. It's going to help me out. It's going to help this channel grow. And not to mention just the overall quality and production of the videos, which will definitely continue to improve as I improve my craft overall. So I thank you guys once again. With all that said, I'll see y'all in the next video.